peek through the door at the end, I will open it up a little bit further.
Phoenix Suns were 4-5 after their loss to the Spurs in San Antonio. Since that time, they have gone 17-6. Parker dips in past Nash. And it's back to a 4-point game. 1 minute to go here in the fourth quarter.
Well, the Suns, if they can score on this possession, it really puts the Spurs in a tough situation. Not a great three-point shooting team.
Nash, a man-to-man battle there with Parker, who rams into a Kurt Thomas screen. Duncan shadowing Nash, fires it up. That would have been a magical shot. And now the pass intercepted by Nash. Tim Duncan looking for the long outlet. And San Antonio scrapping. Ginobili was there, Parker was there, foul. And they will hit Tony Parker with the personal.
Steve thought they were going to foul him. You know, they thought they were going to foul him, but let's take a look at the steal. I mean, you know, Tim Duncan trying to get the ball out in a hurry, and Steve Nash understanding that he grabs the bounce pass, which is normally your slowest pass in the game, and Steve just played it just like a free safety would.
What more can you do for us, Steve Nash? Couple of three-pointers, the steal, and now he'll go to the line as Tony Parker has picked up personal foul number 6, and he is done for the night. 18 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds for Tony Parker. His team trailing by 4, and Steve Nash, 95% free throw shooter to the stripe. Second in the NBA to Luke Ridnour, though Ridnour has taken 53 less free throws than Nash this season. And Nash is pure on that first free throw of the night by Nash. Not a desperate housewife, that's a desperate fan over there as her man is checked out after having fouled out. And Nick Van Exel trying to return right now for San Antonio. And the rings and chants of MVP have begun here for Steve Nash once again this season.
Well, you know, and why not? I mean, he is definitely in the running again. I mean, you know, people had doubts about it last year, and I don't know why. I mean, he came to a team that won 29 games, and you add him to the mix, and they win 62. You lose Amari Stoudemire this year to an injury, and Amari Stoudemire, quite frankly, could be MVP at this point by how I felt he would play. And yet, they're in first place in the Pacific Division. And why is that? It's because of that guy right there. He makes the game so easy for everyone on the court. You have to continue to give him that look as MVP.
And it goes from MVP conversation to Hall of Fame consideration for a guy like Steve Nash, who could indeed corral back-to-back MVP honors. Timeout here from U.S. Airways Center. Nash, with your entry, you will be eligible for the Suns road trip early bird drawing to be held on February 4th. Log on to www.homeofmiracles.com for ways to enter.
29 seconds, a lot of time. So, you know, the celebration is on in the stands, but not on the court. Suns have to play solid defense here.
Ginobili lobs it in now to Duncan. Hands it back to Ginobili. Free pass for the jam. A little too easy there by the Suns defense, allowing Ginobili to break free, and Phoenix will call a timeout. And they still have one left. San Antonio still has a 20-second to call.
Well, the Spurs know that the Suns are going to have to miss some free throws in order for them to get back in the game. And so that's what they're rolling the dice on. And off the clock.
Ginobili now 19 points off the bench. Diao into the backcourt. It's James Jones. Back over to Nash. And Bowen with the hack job on Steve Nash. That was your famous chop chop right there.
Official kind of stared at him a little bit, I guess, maybe to see a reaction from Nash. He didn't get any. It's two points. It's 2 free throws. Hey, thank you.
Just don't hack him on that right hand or right wrist. So lethal for Nash at the line. And this one pops out. Rare miss by Steve Nash. And Nick Van Exel out there now for San Antonio for his three-point shooting.
Well, you know, it's a 2-possession game, and that's how the Spurs are approaching it. You know, do they need to?
Diao nearly kept it alive. Contact between Marion and Ginobili. Here comes San Antonio.
He didn't touch it.
4-point game. Van Exel, trouble with the handle, and flips it in. It's a 2-point game. 13 seconds to go. They get it into Nash, and he'll go back to the line. Steve Nash missing the last 2 free throws. And I mentioned second in the NBA coming in here, shooting 95% from the line.
You know, free throws are quirky. I mean, you know, I had a year where I shot over 90, and you're going to have a stretch where you're going to miss 2 in a row. I mean, that's just what happens, but they weren't bad misses. You just can't worry about it.
Perfect rotation and release by Nash. And this is the critical free throw. Try to make it a 4-point game.
And the only problem I have, the Spurs have a 20 left, is just the fact that the Suns are allowing them to score too quickly.
Nash hits them both. 4-point game. Suns do not want to foul on a 3-point attempt. Inside Duncan. Rejected inside by Diao. And the Suns are looking good. The clock kept running. San Antonio, I'm sure, will have a beef with that game clock. But Phoenix heads back to the line, leading by 4, and just seconds away from ending the 5-game win streak for San Antonio.
Looked like Duncan had an easy one, but the recovery by Boris Diaw was only effective because Duncan didn't dunk it.
Went up a bit soft. And so they will take a look at the game clock. Violet Palmer here at the scorer's table. But the Suns looking good for their 22nd win of the season.
It was so funny, the play where after Steve missed the 2 free throws and Ginobili had it, no one really touched him, but he fell backwards like somebody found him. And the officials didn't buy it. And I think, you know, Ginobili is starting to realize, I think, his flopping sometimes hurt him now more than help him.
And how will this help the Phoenix Suns psyche, as if they needed any more help coming off of big blowout wins over Philadelphia and Miami, but taking down the defending champs here at home without Barbosa and Amari?
Well, what it tells you is what the Suns have known all year. They felt they should have beaten Detroit. You know, Detroit had a heck of a 4th-quarter run to beat them. That's the best team in the league record-wise right now. And then to be able to beat the Spurs, what that tells the Suns is they can beat anybody. And I think that's the mentality they've had all year. That's the mentality they carried over from 62 wins last year. Is, you know, you're telling us, people in media, that we're not going to make the playoffs because Amari's down and we made all these changes. And we're telling you it was the reason why we won 62 games. And it wasn't all Amari, Stoudemire. It wasn't all Joe Johnson. It wasn't all Q Richardson. It was our system, and it was our MVP finding people. And I think that's what they have told the league, and they haven't bowed down to it. I think it's the people that's been watching them figuring that they would.
And the Suns' success has made Amari Stoudemire even hungrier to return for this Suns team, possibly after the All-Star break. 91-86, 1 of 2 at the line by Rajabel. They put 1.4 on the game clock. And another 20 seconds.